What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 4 of my 18 days of gratitude until I turn 50. So, like I said on the previous videos, if you tune into 1, 2, and 3, this is day 4. On those other ones, I talked about a lot of stuff that I'm grateful for, things that have brought me to where I'm at now. And we've touched on some things that were personal to me that I had forgotten about. As you can tell from the thumbnail today, this one's gonna be a real touchy one. This one, some people are not gonna like, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna probably get some pushback on it. But it's something I wanted to talk about. I wanted to go a little bit more in depth on to help anybody that's dealing with it, anybody that deals with hate on a daily basis, and you know where it's coming from. That's what bugs me the most, is where you know where it's coming from. Like the YouTube channel, like this channel here, you know, you can see the thumbs ups and the thumbs down. I guarantee it, 100%, I know where they're coming from, and I know it. And I can't wait for YouTube to release the names that come through there, because it's gonna reveal a lot of stuff to a lot of different people. Even though you block them, you can see, you know, once they release that, hopefully here soon, you'll be able to see those names and you'll be like, I knew it. But I try to look past that right now, because there's nothing you could do. On Facebook and everything else, you could block people. But on YouTube, it's more difficult. So I brought my laptop. I got a whole bunch of bullet points in front of me. And I know on my other videos, I just go right through and I just go on the fly. But this one's a little bit more dear to me, because I've had to work through it. And I found a way to work through it. And I'm hoping to share that with anybody that's going through your own little circle of hatred from these folks, these little minions out there. So with that, we'll get started. I'm going to read some of these bullets, and then I'm going to come on here and then talk. I don't like reading the bullets because it bugs me, because I don't feel like there's a connection. So I'm going to probably pause it every now and then come back and edit it. And that's about all I'm going to do. So whenever you're starting anything, whether it be a business, a hobby, baking a cake, cutting your yard, you're going to get positive stuff from people. But then you're going to get something from somebody that is going to rub you the wrong way. You're going to get a negative feedback from somebody. And at first, you know, that it's really hard to deal with that. You know, it's hard to separate yourself, like your true self. And I'm speaking on a business mind frame. It's hard to separate who you are to owning your business, because who you are, you might want to pop off and, you know, break some necks or whatever the case is, especially when all this is going to be about competition and people that don't have any value in your business. So let me get that out there. Customer feedback, anybody that purchases something from you, you have to treat that differently. That's different. An audience is different. And I don't mind getting like negative stuff from people, as long as it comes with something to reinforce some kind of positive change in me. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't do that. So with that, I want to talk about the hate and how it's transformed me. The hate didn't break me. The hate doesn't break me. It builds me on the daily. It pushes me. It fuels me. I use the negativity as proof that I'm doing something with validity, if that makes sense. I'm making someone feel uncomfortable with progress, with some step of success. And I know we've all dealt with that. You know, you'll see something from somebody and you're like, damn, dude, that's bad. I like that. And instead of saying that to somebody, you come out with something negative. You're like, dislike, or whatever the case is. Instead of saying what you truly meant, like, hey, that's a badass photo. Or, hey, you know what? You baked that cake and that cake was delicious. So it's understanding where the negativity is coming from and building off of that. For me, like I said, it fuels me. It gives me more energy. It gives me more determination to prove somebody wrong, especially in my market. You got a lot of divas, a lot of photography divas in my neighborhood, in this DFW market, that think they're top shop or whatever. I almost said about. I'm trying to cut back on the bad words, but se creen, they really think that they are the big dogs of everything. And you have some people that will try to lift people up, but then you have people that just step all over people, and they just foul stuff. I've seen shady people out in the real world, in the streets, in the hood, in corporate America, but not to what I'm seeing coming from within this, I guess, this community that's here in this local area. I'm not talking about nationwide. When I first started my company, I joined a lot of groups. And as soon as I started seeing people being negative people, like the photography beginners groups and stuff like that, as soon as I seen them starting being negative to people and hurting people's feelings, instead of just saying, hey, you know what? Let me help you with this. Your lighting's a little off. I think you should do this to make the photo better. They're like, hey, did you just pick up the camera? You know what I mean? No class. It shows me no class from somebody. And I just silenced them. I just got off of those groups and I just disappeared from them because there's no establishing my growth from that. I look to YouTube. I look to videos like this to help me build myself. And I'm hoping with these videos, I can touch somebody, if it's one person, whatever the case is, with something that you can learn from me and grow from, then even better. All I know is I was looking for that stuff. But back to what I was saying, instead of shutting down, I doubled down. Instead of allowing people to break me, I built myself. And when you focus on that, your progress just shoots to the roof. Another thing that helps you to fight off hate is to lose being envious, wanting what someone else does. Everybody is different. In everything that we do, we can all be painting one certain picture. They could tell us, hey, draw an apple. And every single one will draw a different apple. Or whatever the case, I might draw a banana instead. But what I'm getting at is everybody's different in everything that they do. And when you're looking online and you're looking at some of these successful people, a lot of times that stuff is just smoke, They'll be like, oh, I'm busy this, that, I'm busy this, I'm busy that, busy this. And then you're looking at your schedule and you're like, damn, I don't even book this time. Or, oh my God, I got a free day. What the hell? Everybody else is double booked and da-da-da-da. A lot of the times, that's just fluff. That's just, that's business. That's people promoting themselves by saying, hey, you know what? I'm so busy that my 2030 calendar is booked up. And you see it. Like I'll be on some of these groups and they're like, I'm booking 2026. I got limited slots. Man, come on. We're not even done with 2025. How you booked out 2026 and booked out 2027? So stop looking at other people and just focus on your own stuff. When you focus on your structure and your strategy, you start to fill up your schedule because you're focused on, hey, you know what? I need to get these calendar dates closed up. I need to get this vision board done, because my vision board doesn't include everybody else that's, whatever they're doing. So lose the envy. Don't envy other people. What you should envy is your goal. Set your goal and target for that. The next one is being better and not bitter. Yeah, you with the hate that comes through or whatever the case is, like some of the comments, I know I've touched on it before. I'll get some people put some stupid things on some of our social medias. Well, more on YouTube, because I don't know what it is, but they just love to leave these dumb little comments about quinceañeras. These girls are 15 years old. And I have filters on here, but you wouldn't believe the amount of 60 to 70-year-old men coming and putting these stupid comments, and I just let those go. I don't acknowledge it. I pretend it's not there. and I let it filter out. Like I said, I block them and then I report them. So, and that's pretty bad when you get reported for like harassment on a 15-year-old or whatever the case is, or rude and crude comments. Yeah, just look past it. Don't be bitter about anything. The way to not be bitter is to eliminate everybody. Eliminate everyone that takes from your happiness. And that's what I've done. I've created different other accounts, and I'll share a story. I was on Instagram, and I blocked these photographers from my account, and for some reason they popped up on my Instagram on this other account, and I looked at the thing and it was on accident. But then the chismes are like, oh, watch who's in your stories and this and that, and watch this, and oh my God. Lesson learned. I don't want to give anybody any kind of little false hope of their own ego to think that I'm even worried about what they're doing. So like I said, clear out everything, clear out everybody. If you have multiple accounts, make sure that they're blocked on every single account, because you don't make the stupid mistake I did and clicked on something and then gave this person some kind of little motivations or something to motivate them to boost their big head, Heads have to be deflated sometimes, or you have to leave the room, because some of these heads, they're humongous and se creen, So block out everything that you can. Make sure that if you have multiple accounts, block them from everywhere else. So one of the biggest things that you can do is work in silence. And I know from the beginning when I first started, a lot of people slept on me, and they're still snoring. And instead of me going out there and blasting all over like, hey, this, not that, this, not, I just worked hard. One of the biggest things that I'm really excited, I'm really proud of is our website. Our website, like, if you follow my channel, it got destroyed. I lost everything, and I was panicking. And I hate building websites. I hate doing any kind of stuff like that. But I knew it was necessary. I know I needed to boost up my local SEO, my Google traffic. I know I needed to bring more eyes to what I do. So I completely rebuilt it. And now we're pushing, I looked yesterday at 211,000 views per month on a website. To our blogs are going insane. So let them sleep on you. Work in silence. Build your foundation, rebuild your brand, rebuild everything, and then come back strong. And I guarantee you they're going to be like, what the hell? Where did he come from? And you've been there the whole time. So let them sleep, let them snore. You just keep doing what you're doing. This one right here, I love this, so I made sure it was on here. It says, no shade can stop someone who shows up with the light. My favorite Bible verse, and I picked this long time ago. I'm talking about like 15, 16 years ago. It's Matthew 5:15. And I apply it in everything I do. And I live by that. It says, do not hide your light in a basket. Instead, place it on a lampstand for the whole world to see your light. And that's what you got to do. I love the lotus flower. If you looked at our logo, our logo has a lotus on it. And the reason I like the lotus is because it can grow anywhere. It grows in the darkest of areas. It doesn't need the sun. It shines on its own. So it'll rise from the mud. And that's how I think about when I think of hatred or haters or whatever you want to call it, haterade or whatever. Anything that comes that's negative, I think of the lotus. And it represents myself. It represents my family. It represents everything I believe in. And it represents my brand. So I rise from the mud and I shine no matter what we do. And you'll see it. You can see it on my face. You can see it when I'm out in public. You can see it when I'm on photo shoots or working quinceañeras and weddings. I truly love what I do. And I love coming on here. Like I said, we've just been kind of busy, so it's been kind of hard. But I love this. I love the growth from this. I love, I was thinking, how am I going to talk about things for 18 days. But this is actually coming pretty easy because I'm loving what I'm reminding myself. It's like little nuggets to me saying, hey, be better. Hey, you know what? Deal with this, deal with the hatred. Remember where you came from, remember, and how it's going to get you to where you need to go. So I choose to stay kind. I choose to stay positive, and I let my own positivity drown out any type of negativity. So, like it says, don't hide your light underneath the shade. So, shine bright. I'm grateful for the hate. I'm grateful for the ones who didn't believe me. I'm grateful for the ones that doubted me. I'm grateful for the ones that come at me from the sly. I mean, because as always, no one's going to come face to face, especially if you know how to throw hands. No one's going to come up to you and say anything to you in public. And I'm a firm believer of, if I got a problem with something, direct message that person. And I do that. I do that every single time. And I've had no responses from that. So that means they don't deserve a response back from me if they're being negative or any kind of hate. But I'm grateful for those people because it's made me improve everything I do. It's made me be more driven. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning and I just slam the social media. I build up my website, build blogs, do this, do that, go to Facebook groups, blah, 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 blah. Everywhere we're gonna be in our own market. And that shuts down any kind of hatred. You just pile it on, just pile, 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 pile. Let them say, hey, you know what, spray and pray. I don't think so. I think it's spraying to drown out everybody else. And it's working, so. All right, so we've been talking about a lot of different subjects, and I wanna go ahead and close this out. I put some notes on here, and it says, how do you deal with the hate? You deal with the hate by not feeding it. You keep showing up even when they hope you don't. And a lot of times they hope you don't. They hope that their hatred just buries you and that you're not going to be successful, that you're not going to try anymore, that you're going to give up on yourself. Don't give them that. Don't allow yourself to be beaten by hatred. You need to stay focused. Even when they're trying to distract you, a lot of times you'll see people putting stuff on, like I say, on the sly. You know, they'll put little comments and you know they're talking about you. You know that they're trying to engage with you. You know that they're trying to reach out to you to hurt you or to bring you into their own little negative pool of whatever. Don't give them that. They don't deserve that. You got to remember what you're doing everything for yourself. I'm doing everything that I do for myself, for my family, my daughters, my grandkids, my friends that surround me, and just a better life. You know, the more you do, especially in business, the more you keep your head up over the water, the more you're able to do. You know, you can pay more bills, you can go on vacations, everything produces. But when you get involved into like a negative circle, it just takes from you. Don't mess with takers. Mess with people that give, people that invest into you, people that believe in you, people that will applaud. I was part of this group. I know I've touched on this before. And every single time, you know, people would come up and I would applaud for them. I'm like, hey, you know, that's a good job. Hey, you got that booking. Hey, you got that. Hey, wow, you did that. Hey, you did this. Never was it for me. All I got was like I said, the big heads and people saying stupid comments. And I just finally got fed up with it. And life has been so much better. It's so much better because I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with any kind of envy. I'm not dealing with anybody trying to be better than somebody else. And truly, all right, so sorry about that. My iPhone got full of storage. I got about 2 gigabytes left. So I want to go ahead and close off with, like I said, not everybody's going to clap. Not everybody's going to support you. Not everybody's going to be like, hey, you know what, William, I hope you succeed in life. You're going to find people that have that true nature of just hate. You know, they're not supportive. They don't help anybody out in any way, shape, or form unless it's about them. And that's okay. Rise above the hate. When I get it, like when I get some stuff from some certain people, I try to flip it around. And this is in life. I have 4 daughters, and sometimes, they're going through their own little things, and it's helped me to be a better person, because I'll be like, hey, good morning, and then they'll come off and spit off something, and yeah, I want to lash back and be like, hey, what the hell's your problem? Da, 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 I'm your father, this and that. I'm like, all right, well, have a great day. Or in the store. I don't like going to stores and people don't acknowledge who I am before they try to give me an order. Especially when I'm dealing with like cashiers and stuff like that. And they're like, nah, 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 nah. I'm like, good morning. How are you? Are you having a great day? And they'll be like, good morning. How are you? Are you having a great day? And that's just something I do. And because I deserve that. I deserve that level of respect, the same smile that I'm giving. And I try to smile everywhere I go. I always say a smile is highly contagious. So I hope this video has helped you, dealing with hatred. And thank you for bearing with me through all this, all the mishaps on this video. I like to just keep it as unedited as possible, keep it as raw and pure. I don't want to read off of anything, even though I read some of his bullet points. And this was very hard for me to read off of this and try to stay engaged. So you might have seen me just come in and out, but I don't want to do this anymore. That'll probably be the last time I use bullet points, because I think when it comes from your heart, it reaches people better. So instead of reading off of something, instead of reading off a script, I don't like that. What you see here, like right now, me talking is who I am. It's how I am. It's what I do. And I don't think I need to polish that anymore. So rise above the hate, combat hate with a smile, and definitely keep your receipts. And what I mean by that is show people, take that hate and fuel yourself. Get the results that you want and prove them all wrong. And don't let hate stop you from doing what you want to do, doing what you love, and pushing through. Like I said, I got some minions out here that try to leave negative things on my YouTube, but they can't catch up on it because I drop 40 to 50 shorts on a day. You're going to have to watch that thing all day long. But let me catch you on the flip side. Let me catch you out there. Anyways, so y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for joining me on day 4. Tune in for tomorrow, day 5. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. I'll think about it over the night. And I appreciate you. And as always, thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for being part of this Fotolilly family. So, deuces.